Greetings and welcome to the Portraits in Fitness channel. My name is David, and recently what I've been doing most on this channel is updates on my life following the carnivore way of eating, or as I like to term it, the carnivore lifestyle medicine. It hasn't been without its share of turbulence, especially in recent days. And in fact, I'm just up from bed for the first time in almost 2 days, being nearly incapacitated with some really stubborn, persistent pain in my back and my side, and it's just been debilitating. Just to summarize what's been going on, and I've touched on it in previous videos, but I've developed sort of what feels like a blockage in my lower left back area, and I have experienced this before, and it's kind of strange because it feels muscular, and then it could not be muscular at the same time because it's not the kind of thing that feels like a strain. It does feel like a strain at first, but then it kind of modulates and shifts around and migrates. And so my only conclusion, and I've had a few experiences with this before, is that it's really a gastric issue, and it's a buildup of gas that that creates a pocket and kind of a blockage. And so it's just been incredibly uncomfortable the last day. Plus, I've been basically incapacitated, and I'm just up now for the first time today at past 8 p.m. right now. It's subsided a little bit, and I've been able to at least remain awake today and write a few emails, that sort of thing. But in general, I've been incapacitated, and yesterday was just brutal. Yesterday, I was able to make it to an emergency chiropractor appointment. I figured that might help me a little bit. I couldn't get in to see an acupuncturist that could deal with digestive issues. And at first, the adjustments seemed to help me a little bit, but in the end, I ended up just lying down on the table after the chiropractor was finished. He did spend a long time with me, and I did need some adjustments because of the pulling to compensate for the pain to one side. So that was good, but it was not a solution when it came down to what was really ailing me, which is it's pretty clearly a gastric issue, and it's very strange. I don't enjoy talking about this sort of thing, but just haven't been able to pass gas, just to break wind, as we say. And my body, knowing that, this is another reason I'm convinced that it's a gastric issue, is that I've gone into dry heaves. There's nothing to puke up because I haven't eaten except for a tiny bit in the last 48 or more hours. And there's not a lot there normally anyway on carnivore. And dry heaved until I was able to literally belch or just basically have some intense burping going on. And that was a relief. So it's pretty clear to me that that's what's going on. And it underscores a bit of helplessness that I feel, really being skeptical of what doctors know, what they're taught, and how they would approach something like this. I mean, I know it's not an appendicitis. I know it's not pancreatitis because of the location. It's just not located in any of the areas where it could be an organ other than maybe some kidney inflammation. But like I said, I can tell that it's relieved if I'm able to get up some gas. So I don't know what caused it, but I like to think of it as a healing trauma. It's been really brutal. In fact, yesterday it was so bad, I was literally thinking, maybe dying would not be such a bad thing just to get out of this pain. Of course, I don't really mean that, but I did entertain those thoughts. Like, just, it's so brutal. I was just writhing in pain and not fun at all. And so one thing I did try doing was just having a handful of fruit, starting with some blackberries that were on hand. And then my wife was very kind and when she went out shopping, she got me some raspberries. I had a handful of raspberries. The carbs did nothing. The sugars did nothing. Maybe that wasn't the right approach. But I had no appetite for anything other than just a few berries. So, strictly speaking, I broke my carnivore diet yesterday, but this is a special case. And ever since those raspberries about 24 hours ago, I have had zero desire to eat anything, carnivore or not. And even drinking has just been kind of unpleasant, but I have been sipping on water. So that's the update for now on that. And on that note, there is a milestone to note at this time. So a mix of good and bad, mostly bad at this point, but I did weigh myself today, and probably it didn't hurt to only consume just a handful of blackberries and a handful of raspberries in the last 48 hours. But I've dipped well under the 200-pound mark for the first time in, I'd say, 7, maybe 8 years. Definitely 7 years, probably close to 8. When I first came to the Bay Area, I believe I was 192. So 4 pounds over that. I'm 196.2 today. And I'm sure I will probably achieve a little bit of an equilibrium and jump up a pound or 2 once I resume eating. But it's been a constant downward trend for my weight lately. I'm just losing a pound or 2 of fat per week, remaining active as much as possible, even with the back issues. I go for long walks if I can't go to the gym or do anything super strenuous or vigorous. And it's been great. I love to go out in the sun. And actually, to close on one more note of good news, I believe that my rosacea is finally healed. There's no more itching. There's no more bumps. I haven't had an outbreak in several days. And what was there that was healing, kind of just dryness, has flaked off. And there's nothing really replacing it coming up. Like one thing comes up off the surface and sloughs away, and another one comes up to replace it. That's not been happening. So that's a really good thing. I think this way of eating is it's a healing way of eating and lifestyle medicine that I'm continuing to administer. And I have faith that it will continue to help me heal. I didn't come into it in the worst shape of all, but, I think the buildup of toxins over our lives and the poor food choices we've made, the alcohol we've consumed, the stress we've been under, all that builds up, and we need to give it a chance to clear out because we don't have an immune system. We have a septic system. We have waste management, and our body's just working always not to fight mythical pathogens in this war model that's, we need to boost our immune system like an army that helps fight away invaders. That's really not how it works. And science has come up with all these explanations about all these receptors we have, all these killer cells that go in Pac-Man viruses and bacteria and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm sorry, I don't believe that anymore. My observations and my study tell me that we have basically an elimination system. We have a sanitation system, and we need to give it opportunities to work. And the best way to do that is to lower our stress, get enough rest, and give it a chance to work. And by eating cleanly and limiting our exposure to toxins, that's the main way we can take care of ourselves. So if we don't suffer injury, poisoning, or just wear ourselves out, we'll usually be in really good shape, and our body will be able to do its work with our sanitation system. So I'm reaping those rewards now, at least with my skin. And it's been many years. I don't know exactly what caused me to first break out with this rosacea, but it's been about 4 years since I noticed I was Mr. Redface, and I've been living with this kind of, I'm not one to be super embarrassed about things, but it comes to mind. You know, when I go out somewhere, I'm thinking these people see me as Mr. Red Face, and it's hopefully in the rearview mirror now. I'm past it, and I'm over the worst of my back pain, and hopefully that is just receding. It will continue to heal, and next week I can look forward to a no pun intended with the rosacea, but a rosier report for y'all. So once again, thank you for listening, and I really appreciate all your comments. If you do have any experience with something like I've been going through with this gastric kind of a tying up, and it's not even bloating. I'm not feeling bloated at all, but if you've had gastric issues that kind of press against your back muscles and hobble you, let me know what that experience was like and maybe how you resolved it. Right now, I'm just water fasting, and I'm feeling like it's helping out a little bit. It's taken a lot of energy to literally get out of bed and make this report, but it's something I really look forward to doing every week, making a weekly report, no matter who watches. It's for myself, but if you're watching, my job is to be brutally honest, let you know what's working and what's not. This week is kind of a mixture of both. So to recap, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 7 years. My rosacea has completely receded, and there are no signs of continued outbreaks, but I've been completely incapacitated for at least a day plus, and it's very frustrating, but I'm hoping the worst of it is over and I'll feel a lot better in the coming days. I do have a trip to another state coming up in a few days, so I better be in better shape come that, because I have an early flight to make on Saturday, and I'll be there for 5 days. Looking forward to that. And my next report should be from Idaho. So I'll see you in Idaho or from Idaho next week. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share whatever insight you may have and experiences down below. Appreciate you. And till next week, be good to yourself.